Okay, so let's get started. This is one of those soaps that you're going to have to plan in advance. I have taken a can of 100% pure pumpkin. Now, when you look at your cans of pumpkin, look at the actual ingredients on it. Most generic cans of pumpkin are actually a variety of different squashes. They're not all pure 100% pumpkin. So make sure yours is for this. Now, that's not to say that the other kind usable that you can use is not good. It's just, it's not 100% pure pumpkin. So for labeling, for allergies and such, you just want to make sure you know what's in it and list those ingredients. So, Nature's Garden now carries their own lye. I am thrilled about this. That makes them a one-stop shopping for me. They've got everything available now. So we're going to use the lye, we're going to use olive oil, coconut oil that melts at 76 degrees, castor oil, and they do have avocado oil, but I'm out, I'm sorry, so I'm going to have to go with one of these. Okay, so I've pre-frozen my pumpkin and now I'm going to chunk it up. Now go ahead and pre-measure out your lye and your pumpkin. Now the reason we use the pumpkin frozen is because we want to keep the temperature as low as possible. You could even put an ice bath underneath this. We're going to add our lye slowly so it doesn't burn the vegetable matter. And no, you do not need a preservative for this. Anytime you add a fruit or a vegetable pulp to the soap, as long as it's finely enough ground, you should not require any kind of preservative because the soponification process itself will preserve it. It becomes a salt. Okay. So add slowly and let the process begin. It will immediately, upon starting to stir, activate and start to melt. It's slow at first, but once there starts to become more liquid available for the lye, it goes much faster. But this is why we do it slowly, because we really don't want to let it heat up too fast. So I'm going to keep doing this, and I will be back once our pumpkin lye is completely ready to go. Now we've added all of our lye. I'm going to show you though that there's still chunks in there and there's still lye present that needs to dissolve. See at the bottom? There's still little white floating pieces of lye. You need to make sure that is all fully incorporated and dissolved. And up top, you can see that there's still a few frozen pieces left in there. Now I added this in 3 different chunks. So I did 1 dash in, stir, 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 2nd dash in, stir, 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 3rd dash in, and now I'm stirring it. So just continue to stir until everything is dissolved. You should see that it's completely cool to the touch when you go to use it. Now it's starting to warm up just a little bit. So when this is done, I'm going to set this off to finish cooling down again. And we'll be back soon. Now go ahead and measure out your oils, melt them, and put them in a heat-safe container that you plan on soaping with. I've already done that with mine, and now I'm going to set them off to the side, covered, to cool off to the proper temperature. I'd like these to be about body temperature, about 96 to 100. So you want them relatively cool to the touch, just slightly warm. And I'm also going to let my pumpkin lye continue to cool. When they're both ready, we'll come back and we'll get to working again. Alright guys, we're back. Our oils and our pumpkin lye solution has cooled down. I have lined my wooden mold and I've measured out my fragrance oil. I've got everything ready to go. Please have all your stuff lined up in front of you, ready to get moving. Don't stop in between and try to grab things. So I've got some colorant, I've got my fragrance oil, all my goodies lined up. Now, because this will darken with this fragrance oil a bit, it's gonna go kind of a like a brownish, medium brown. I'm going to go ahead and add a little bit more of a tangerine pop mica just to help bring that orange out a bit more. Now if you did a different fragrance, or if you left it unscented, your soap would stay that beautiful color a little bit longer. But since it's not, we're going to do this. I want to kind of talk about this fragrance oil. This is pumpkin walnut biscotti. Now every year I do a new pumpkin fragrance for my pumpkin juice soap. And I have been on the hunt for a long time for a really yummy pumpkin. And I gotta say, this is one I really like. It is a very buttery, warm, pumpkin-y, bakery type of scent. I'm thrilled. Honestly, it's been forever trying to find one that wasn't just all cinnamon. The aroma of freshly baked Italian biscotti with delicious notes of pumpkin and fresh walnuts. And boy, does it. This is yum. Its vanillin content is 1%. Now, the testing ratio on this says it's got an easy pour, no acceleration, no rising, no separation. But again, all testing is done by a person's individual recipe. Your recipe is not going to be the same, so you really need to test it in your own recipe. I always have a very high olive oil content in mine, so mine don't tend to accelerate as quickly as people that have a lot of heavy butters and stuff in it. So bear that in mind when you're testing a new soap, okay? So let's get started. Now, for once, I'm actually going to add my fragrance oil in now to my oils. I'm going to go ahead and do it. Okay, and I'm going to go ahead and add in some of that orange colorant now so I can get it all mixed up in my oils. There we go. So I'm going to pre-blend my oils with the colorant. Oh, if only it would stay that color. That's gorgeous. But here we go. All right. Here comes our pumpkin lye. Do this in bursts, okay? Give yourself a chance to get it all incorporated. Scrape in all that yummy goodness. There we go. Now I'm going to bring the camera over here for you guys to see inside the pot, okay? That's perfect. It's thick enough to go. There we go. I'm going to sit you. Okay. Now, because it was pumpkin pulp and not water that we used, it does quicken up a bit. See that? That got thick really quick. So I would say with the pumpkin pulp, you will get some acceleration. That's for sure. Oh, that smells so good. I do get a little bit of that cinnamon scent, but that's the raw soap. But it's mainly that biscotti and walnut that really comes through with that pumpkin. Mmm. See? Okay. Yeah, that started moving pretty quick on me after a while. So do be careful. I'll make sure I'll put a note on the website about some acceleration if I can. But it's not too bad. But definitely I would, oh, that smells good. Makes it worth it, guys. I don't know, makes it worth it. And look, I'm still able to kind of play. Just know that if you plan on doing any kind of swirls or anything like that, just bring it to emulsification instead of a hard trace. And if it gets too thick on you, by all means, hand stir that sucker. Bring it back under control, okay? Just because soap gets thick on you doesn't mean you have to stick with it. You can always stir it back down into submission. Alrighty. Got some peaks going on here. Fabulous. Fabulous. All right. And you know what? I think I'm just gonna let it sit as is. No sparkle glitter, no nothing like that, just because it's such a beautiful natural soap. I don't want to take away from it. I'm going to bring you over. We're going to do a swoop and bye.